Hi guys, and welcome back on my YouTube channel for the brand new start of this project, Il Dormiente del Castello. To start, I am going to make a rough sketch of the project, mainly of the background, and have a look where the elements of the background are going to be exactly displayed on this project. One very important point when you are sketching the background, it will be a constant issue during the project, is the perspective. Because I am doing a landscape, it means that there is a point somewhere on the landscape where everything goes in. It's the focus point. This focus point needs to be somewhere in the first third of the draw. There is this theory of the gold number, which is 2/3, 1/3. And it is always good to focus the action in this golden region and as well to have the focal point of the background somewhere in this region.
Are slanted, my reflection's still there. The marquees, they all read now, appearing nowhere, appearing nowhere, now appearing.
So here you can see that the focal point is 1/3 from the left corner of the picture and 2/3 from the top. And the action is going to take place, or let's say the main character is going to sit on the other side. So it means that the focal point will be 1/3 from the left and the main action of the picture will be 1/3 from the right. So in both cases, we are more or less fulfilling this golden number rule.
I'm the clock, second hand, that make the whole round. Why you still stand on the minute hand, push away, 'cause I feel too close, feel too close, feel too close. Used to put love on scale, hope for the other side to fail, when the night was enough to talk away the haze of the day.
Once the sketching process was finished, I started to build a frame for the sculpting. The problem, however, is that most frames you will find are thicker outside than inside, and they do not have enough depth to create a sculpting inside. So I used the profile of several frames and inverted it basically to get something which has enough depth to create the sculpting. However, this is something I wouldn't do again, because in the meantime I realized that in some art shops and in some antique shops you can get some frames without background with exactly that shape. I set the main elements with cardboard and plastic card before starting with the sculpting of the furthest element with air drying clay. I will then sculpt roughly the main element of the whole background with clay, starting from the things which are the furthest away to the things which are the closest to the viewer's eyes. The stones and the tiles of the small building in the background were pretty hard to sculpt. Not because it's small, but rather because air drying clay is not very well suited to sculpt small things. However, because the stones of the buildings in Fausti Novo are not in a very straight and clear pattern, especially not in the medieval part, I was thinking that sculpting it in a rough material would fit better than sculpting it in a very clean material where you could have a perfect pattern, like for example green stuff.
Tighter, this dynamic says it all. You're the curator and I'm your animal. Feel like I'm sinking sinking underwater. Feel like I'm going over the falls. My mind spins faster and faster. My heart is bursting through the wall. And just for once
An important issue during the sculpting process of the walls especially is that here again we need to take into account that there is a perspective and a focal point. So therefore the walls are not straight, they are going in the direction of the focal point, and when I sculpt the lines, which will be the base of sculpting the stone, then I need to put them in the direction of the focal point and not parallel to the borders of the frame.
these confessions of dejection and despair, when some great rapture is lingering in the air, I feel like jumping in your blanket. I feel like climbing in your cave. Your flesh attracts me like a magnet. Your cunning traps me like a cage. And just for once I wish we'd stop and smell the roses, instead of dreaming of things we miss. Elysian fields could be right under our noses, and rapture at our fingertips. And just for once I wish we'd stop and smell the roses, instead of dreaming of things we miss. Elysian fields could be right under our noses, and rapture at our fingertips. Feel like I'm going over the falls. Feel like I'm going over the falls.
I carry on with the sculpting of the next biggest element, which is going to be the footpath going from the castle down to the coast. Here we have something a little bit tricky because the footpath itself goes down the hill, so it means that it has a non-perspective because it's not straight. And at the same time, we need to take in account that there is an overall focal point and that the footpath itself need to take this focal point in the perspective of how the tiles especially are shaped. So we will need to mix both perspectives in this sculpting.
Tide will fall with the gravity of you to the end of the world.
issue with air drying clay is that when you finished a piece of air drying clay and you are sculpting another one on the top of it, they are not sticking very well to each other. There will be some cracks. So I needed to glue the finished part to the plastic card and to each other and to repair the cracks later on. This is the downside of using this material.
Tells us when we have to go.
If you enjoy my videos, please do not forget to subscribe the channel, leave a like and a comment. It helps a lot.
Stars blink their eyes. Send me blank postcards from across the sea. Mail them to the wrong address. They'll still find me.
Thank you for watching the first part of the sculpting of the background of Il Dormiente del Castello. See you soon for the next part. Bye bye!
I was almost